Initiative in Arkansas and Memphis. And of course today he is the director of our Arkansas State Police. Colonel Bill Brown.
Thank you. It's quite an honor. I always love to come to Rotary Club. What a great service organization, service above self. So thank you for what you do for the communities around you. It's really a great organization. When I heard I was coming to Magnolia, first name Randy Land says I want to go. On the ride down, he said, please do not let them abuse me. So take it easy on Randy. I look around the audience, I see some familiar faces. We have Bob Burns. Bob is on the Arkansas State Police Commission, also a member of our Arkansas State Police Foundation. Bob, thanks for your leadership and your friendship. Very fortunate we have two legislators here, and I can tell you both of them are very, very pro-law enforcement, pro-state police. We have Senator Malik and Representative Fielding. I always kid Representative Fielding since his son went through troop school. I said, is the young boy tried the old man yet? He goes, no, he ain't tried it yet. So my money's on the young man. But you know, I've been to Magnolia before when I was with DEA. 20 of my 30-year career with DEA was here in the state of Arkansas, and I've been down here. You might not have recognized me then. I had a mullet and permed in the back. Young man, wish I had that mullet back. I'd comb it over the top. But you know, since I knew Senator Malik and Bob Burns, I said, hey, you mind if we all help me with my program? They said, sure, come on down. So last night I went over to their house. And it's going to be a really entertaining program. As you can see, Senator Malik doesn't hold his liquor very well. Bob's a better drinker. But sincerely, I love getting out of Little Rock, coming to towns like Magnolia. You got a great university here, great people. So you should be proud of your community. As they said, this is my 40th year in law enforcement. I had retired from DA age 57, and I learned a valuable lesson. If a guy who's elected governor and calls you, asks you to dinner, do not go. You'll be the director of the Arkansas State Police. But let me tell you a little bit about our governor, just real briefly. I first met him when I was assigned to the Capitol Hill. I was on the House Judiciary Committee, and Governor Hutchinson was on that committee, and he found out I was from Arkansas. And he sought me out, spent 30 minutes with me. We talked about how much we loved Arkansas and Mississippi and Washington, D.C. And little did I know, a few months later, he became the head of DEA. He's a man of character and integrity. I mean, just he's going to be a great governor for this state. He loves his state. I've never heard him say not even close to a cuss word. I mean, he is just a man of class and integrity. So when he asked me, the answer had to be yes. There was no doubt about it. Now, with DEA, I was 30 years. You always see in the movies, you know, like, hey, these guys are undercover, riding around in Lear jets and all that stuff. Most of the time with DEA, you kind of work on these kind of crooks here. Here's two guys who are going to break in a chemical store to sell some chemicals to make meth. You see, Bob? He tries to break the window. He knocks it. So, what you see in the movie about DEA is not really true. But here's what I want you to get out of my talk today. The main thing is, you know, people think the Arkansas State Police, all we do is write tickets and work arrests, and that is not correct. We do that, but we do so much more. All right, good trivia question. State Police is 81 years old. It started out with 13 original Rangers. That's the beginning of the Arkansas State Police. Okay, and what we are today, we're over 1,000 employees, 558 commissioned officers. Somebody says, hey, what's it like being the colonel of the state police? Do not write this in the newspaper. I said, well, it's like running a daycare except 550 kids got guns. So, and truly, when he asked me this, when the governor asked me to take this job, the reason I took it was working with him for 20 years as DA, looking in, the Arkansas State Police is a family. And that impressed me. If I saw one trooper down, there were 4 or 5 other troopers there would get a hand up. So that's what impressed me about the organization. And I'm extremely proud to lead the men and women of the Arkansas State Police. You see these troopers here that wear that uniform, I guarantee you they earn the right to wear that uniform. It's not given to them. And if you have, I understand you have a young man in our troop school now. Does he come home whining? I know you asked. You know, it's a tough school. It's 21 weeks. It's comparable to Marine boot camp. We have 33 troopers left. We started out with 39, and we had 14 alternates. Now we went through the alternates. We had one show up, looked, and saw with our drill instructor. He says, I'm out of here. He didn't even get out of the car. So difficult school, but I want to assure you, being in law enforcement 40 years, you see a trooper, when that bell rings, they're ready to go. No matter what the issue is, they're 10-8, they're ready to go. So I'm extremely proud to lead them. All right, basically we have 5 divisions in the Arkansas State Police. We have the Highway Patrol Division, the Criminal Investigation Division, Crimes Against Children, Regulatory, and Administrative. So those are the main 5 divisions in the state police. Whoops, back up. Okay. Highway Patrol, we have 12 troop headquarters around the state, and it starts with Troop A through Troop L. We work very closely with the legislature this time. We're getting ready to build 5 new headquarters here in the next year or two. We're refinancing a bond issue. The state police is 81 years old. I have headquarters around the state are 61 years old. So it's very important we upgrade our headquarters, and we're doing that in cooperation with the legislature. This is the mainstay of our fleet, Dodge Charger. We're experimenting with some Ford Explorers, kind of a little small SUV. One thing I learned about the state police, we can crash cars going forwards, backwards, sideways. We crash a lot. So new cars, we got backup cameras, so hopefully they'll cut out the rear end collisions. So, but it's been a great car for us. We have some Tahoes, and you see those usually are canine officers. We have an interstate criminal patrol team with drug sniffing canines. So most of you see a Tahoe, it's going to be for our canine units. All right, this is what we call low profile vehicles. Okay, y'all call them, say you're cheap. Okay, it doesn't have a light bar, but what it does have, as you can see here, they're marked on one side. So if you're stopped by one of these, basically they'll come behind you, hit you with the blue light, and come up pull up beside you where you can see the markings, and they pull you over. We use this a lot for seat belts enforcement. Unfortunately, Arkansas is below the national average on people wearing their seat belt, which has led to fatalities. Last year we had over 500 people killed in the state of Arkansas. So we're working on seat belt fatalities. You think most fatalities are in the urban areas? No, they're in our rural areas, just like this. And it's just been a strain all over the country. We're having multiple fatalities. I don't know if you saw in the newspaper. I think like 6 people were killed on motorcycles this last week. We have some cars. We had a bus crash with 6 people killed, different things. So wear the seatbelt, please. Every car we have, if you're pulled over, you're on audio, video. Okay. We have what's called the MOVE system, Mobile Officer Virtual Environment. So when you're stopped, they'll get your driver's license the day of writing a ticket and hand you a ticket. It's over. So if you get a ticket, do not call the colonel and ask him to dismiss it. Basically, what happens? He'll issue a ticket, and when he gets it to print it out, it sends it to the court. So it's a great tool for us. So say, for example, Bob leaves here and he gets stopped in Waldo and he gets a warning ticket. Okay. If he gets stopped in Benton, Arkansas, they'll be able to tell that, hey, Bob, you just got stopped in Waldo and got a warning. You're not going to get a warning this time. So they're able to kind of track that. It's a good system. The trooper's able to run the criminal history, everything with a swipe of driver's license. It's officer safety for us. And we share this system with other law enforcement around the state. We're getting more departments to get on what we call they call it East Side or Mobile Officer Virtual Environment. We have a great interstate criminal patrol team. We've expanded that now to 18 troopers. We've got 8 K9s. We just bought some new K9s. They do specialized training. And basically, the old days when I started here, some of the other officers here are older. The drug traffickers used to keep the dope in the suitcases. That's no longer. It's all hidden traps. You might have to have the air conditioner on high, your left blinker on, and your emergency flashers, and they'll have a hidden trap with a seat on hydraulics to reach up. They bring the dope to Arkansas. They wait around and put the money back in the trap, take it back to Mexico. These guys are very good at detail. Anytime you see something like this is 19 kilograms of cocaine. They put it in a false bed in a truck. That's going to be from a Mexican drug trafficking organization, a drug cartel. Anytime you see that amount. Here, if, like on your cars, if you open up your car door, you got kind of like rocker panels. They shape the dope in that where they'll hide it in rocker panels or any kind of hidden trap. I think one of my favorite is one of our interstate criminal patrol guys arrested somebody in Little Rock, and they noticed that he got gas in Texarkana, he got gas in Prescott, he got gas in Arkadelphia, because if your gas tank's full of dope, there ain't much room for gas. So, and we do have the scopes. We're able to run down to the gas tank and take a look. Sometimes you'll see they'll put it in spare tires. And we have a density meter. We're able to go over the tires to see if anything's inside. This is one of my favorite stories. This is Olin Craig. He just retired recently. He was on the Interstate Criminal Patrol. Always happy being a trooper. Didn't want to do anything else. And he stopped over in Lonoke County just to help an 18-wheeler pull off the side of the road. He noticed the guy was a little nervous, and they ran the dog around the the truck, and the dog passed out because it was 276 pounds of meth in there. So he finished his career out with the largest seizure in Arkansas history of 276 pounds of methamphetamine. Okay, of course, there's always, when you talk about drug traffickers, they're in it for the money. So we do make significant money seizures on occasions. I didn't put the cash register in there, legislators. That's somebody built that for me. All right. Here's one we did in Russellville. Had $2.3 million. What we do, we respond. Something like this, we get the DA and FBI involved. But basically, we were able to trace this money and forward it to Baltimore, Maryland, Los Angeles, and end up seizing over $24 million from drug traffickers. So it's very important that we exploit these cases and work with our federal counterparts. All right. We do driver's license CDL testing. The most dangerous job in the state police is giving a teenager a driving test. We work with the legislature this time. We were having the kids, unfortunately, were taking the test 15, 20 times before they passed it. They only pay one fee. So after the legislature, we work with them to try to get their kids to study more. Is you pay for the test, you get 3 tests. After that, we charge you for each one to try to motivate them. Now, if you have kids get ready to drive, do not take the online sample test. That has nothing to do with our test. Other states have it, but we have booklets, and you can pick it up at any Troop A court. All right, this is basically the one here at Troop A, where they go take their eye test, and then everything's by computer. All right, we're very fortunate we have aviation section of the Arkansas State Police. This is the King Air 200. We have people assigned to that. We have troopers who are pilots. The governor uses this plane. Any state agency is allowed to use it. So it's a great plane. We can fly anywhere in the United States with this plane. We also have a Cessna 206. It's got infrared. It's got cameras on it. We use this for surveillance. But this is the main workhorse of our fleet right here, our state police helicopter. We assist a lot of local and county agencies with search and rescue, you name it, the floods, anything we can do, prison escapes, we use our helicopter. It's a great, great tool for us. All right, this helicopter saves lives. And here's a case we did. I'm going to see if I can get this over here where you can hear it once it gets going. But we tried to arrest a guy who was selling methamphetamine. He broke through the... y'all hear that in the background? I'll leave this one. He's in a Dodge Charger, we're in a Dodge Charger. Okay, he broke containment, and the chase started. Luckily, we had the helicopter up. Give him a second to get the camera. If you don't like motion sickness, you might get sick. All right. We're chasing him on a dirt road. He's going 100 miles an hour on a dirt road. So if you ever try to chase somebody on a dirt road, you're in a cloud of dust. You can't see anything. So this helicopter is just invaluable on something like this. And you watch as he goes. He starts throwing dope out the window. He was selling pounds of methamphetamine. And without the helicopter and this camera, we would never known he threw the meth out. We were able to go back and retrieve it.
Units, he's going straight. He's staying straight. Okay, we're not on Rio Vista. Units, he's on Ritzel Road. Ritzel Road. Still going.
This is up.
We're on Ritzel Road.
This is up by Searcy, White County, or Ball Knob, and then he's in White County. He was trying to evade over into Jackson County. As you watch, you'll be...
Just throw some more stuff out the window. Just throw some more objects out the window. Throwing more objects out the window.
He's throwing pounds of meth out the window as we're chasing. Okay, I kind of divided this up into 2 videos because the chase took a little while, but it'll stop here in a second and we'll finish up with the second part of the video to show you how important this helicopter was to us.
And we're continuing on. We still haven't come to the dead end yet. This is supposed to dead end ahead of us here. Okay, he's had a gate now that he's going through, and he busted through the gate.
This is great evidence to show when you go to trial or show to the judge for a bond of how you endangered people and endangered the lives of law enforcement officers.
get to the end of this here at the river.
Chad, are you close to it? Well, I think I can fill out this side. 25. Chad, he's gonna probably turn around and come at us here in just a minute, so be careful. Watch your front.
Okay, he's here at the end. He's right here at the river fixing to jump. He's jumping in the river. Jumped in the river.
Good morning, in the river.
He's not going to get far in the river, but he's in the river.
What he was trying to do is swim across the river and get it. What the helicopter would do would lower down and like create almost like an ocean atmosphere. Now, I didn't know what kind of crowd I was addressing because I cut it short because he gave the universal sign of friendship to the helicopter here in a second. But again, that's a great tool the state police has to help law enforcement to make our community safe. All right, we're very fortunate. We have a 30-man SWAT team. They're a very, very great SWAT team, highly trained. They got one K-9 assigned to the SWAT team. They receive extensive training. That's our SWAT team. You have to try out to be on the SWAT team. They do a great job. They train once a month. We assist a lot of sheriff's department, police departments on barricaded suspects. We're training explosive entries. We need to use explosives to gain entry into a residence. We can. Hostage rescue. We train a lot with the FBI SWAT team. Here was a practical exercise at the Capitol in case we ever had some type of terrorist attack at the Capitol. All right. This is one of our great tools here. This is what's called the bear. It can take any kind of round. So if you wake up one morning and you see this in your front yard, you're about to have a bad day. This is a great tool for us. In this last session, we worked with Senator Malik, and we used some drug seizure money. We bought a Bearcat, which is a smaller version. Because the problem with this, it weighs so much, we can't get in a rural area. And I mean, it weighs like a gazillion tons, and plus, we used it in a big raid up in Blyville, and I think it cost us about $10,000 in gas to go to Blyville, because the top speed is about 55 in that. But it's a great tool. Instead of us having to go make entry, we're able to it's got a PA, we pull up the front door and we order them out of the house. If they want to start shooting, they can shoot all they want. But this saves lives. There's another shot of it. Okay, well, each SWAT call-outs, we bring our mobile incident command center. We use this a lot, especially in tornadoes, floods, whatever. That's got all satellite download. It's like you got to have a commercial driver's license to drive it. We can dial in any police frequency. It's just a great platform. We can set it somewhere and it can last for like 21 days without us moving. So it's a great tool that we use. Law enforcement agencies here, you need it, you call us, we'll bring it. We also have a crisis negotiation team, 15-member team. They specialize in negotiating with barricaded suspects. ERT team, I formed this becoming the director. We didn't call it a riot team. It's a kind of a twofold purpose. One, we got the training for civil unrest. You know, whoever thought Ferguson would have a riot or different things. So right now we're up to 100 people. We've got them trained and equipped, and it's a twofold purpose. We have civil unrest wherever we use them, but also if we have tornado or any kind of natural disaster, that means I can get 100 troopers anywhere in the state within 3 hours. So it's a twofold purpose for us, but we'll be prepared in the state if something like that happens. We also have a bomb squad. We've got 3 certified bomb techs. I'm going to kind of pick it up a little bit. I get long-winded and I talk too long. But basically, we have 2 response vehicles. We got 3 robots. A lot of times on SWAT, these go on SWAT call-outs also. We'll send the robot into a house before we send a trooper in. That way, I think this one here, the first time we got it, we deployed it, the guy shot the camera. But that's better than shooting a trooper. So we have great equipment with the Arkansas State Police. Bomb suits. We have a criminal investigation division. It's our plain clothes. We got 6 companies, A through F. If you look, that's how it's broken up across the state. We do a lot of homicides. I think we were out on 2 homicides yesterday. Assisting other agencies. We do officer involved shootings, independent investigations requested by prosecutors, major crimes, public corruption, legislative audits. We do the ICAC task force. Basically, that's where we have troopers get online, pretend to be a 13-year-old girl, and try to catch sexual predators. We also play in federal task forces, DEA, FBI, Joint Terrorism Task Force, U.S. Marshal Service, Fugitive Task Force. We have a fusion center, does great work. It's located at the state police. They assimilate intelligence and distribute it. That's a shot of it there. We have analysts that work there, but they do things like this. Every year we do if you have a special event, they'll do assessment like for the football season. We do this document, give it to law enforcement. Hey, this is what kind of threats you might see. Or River Fest in Little Rock. Hey, law enforcement, these are the potential threats you need to look out for. So it's a great tool for us. Or another agency, say the Columbia County Sheriff's Office is looking for a guy, they're able to put out a bulletin to all law enforcement and say, hey, we're looking for this guy right here. We have the regulatory division. We do everything, PI security, concealed handguns license. This last legislative session, they wanted to give us the massage therapy board. I said, I'm not going to let a trooper go into the massage parlor. This is going to be trouble. So we gave that to somebody else. Used motor vehicles, crash depository. Regulatory, we do state fire marshal, arson investigations. We also have an arson K-9 provided by ATF. With an agency this size, over 1,000 people, you got to have human resources, retirements, stuff to handle that, our health insurance. We do promotional testing every 2 years. Again, we started at troop school. It's about 6 weeks into it. We've expanded to 21 weeks now. Again, if you see a trooper wearing that uniform, he's earned the right to wear that uniform. Okay, this is the biggest surprise to me as being director of the state police. We have what's called the Crimes Against Children Division. We operate the hotline 24/7. In an average week, we average between 13 and 1,700 calls of child abuse to this day. Okay, it's just unbelievable. We get the worst of the worst. We get the sexual abuse, the physical abuse. Our investigators assigned to CACD, they're not gun toters, but if it is criminal in nature, then they work in tandem with our criminal investigation division or work with Magnolia Police Department or Columbia County to help them. And basically, they do the maltreatment offenses against children. Again, children's our greatest asset. You know, we have to protect our children. Okay, we also have the responsibility of protecting the governor, the first lady, and the mansion 24/7. All right, just briefly talk a little bit about drugs. Methamphetamine is still the #1 drug threat in Arkansas. It's a twofold problem. What I mean by small toxic labs, we used to have the lab problem all the time in the state. And working with the legislature in 2004, we created some legislation that really helps. So let me ask you all this. When you go to Walgreens or your drugstore and try to buy ephedrine or pseudoephedrine, what do you have to do? Driver's license. It's a pain in the butt. It is. But let me tell you, it went from 1,200 labs a year, we're down to about 100 labs. Huge, huge difference. If you're going to make methamphetamine, the cake mix is either ephedrine or pseudoephedrine. You can't make it without that. So that's why the focus in that legislation worked. Unfortunately, what that did was Mexican drug trafficking organizations stepped up to the plate and filled the void. And they're bringing in, as you can see, that was 200-something pounds of meth that we seized. You know, usually when you see them cook in the small area, everybody's got a sweet and low package on their table. If you took that sweet and low package, open up, pour it out, that's 1 gram of powder. 1 gram of meth goes $8,500 a gram. Okay? And what you're seeing, I'll show you some slides here. Let me ask you, has anybody ever seen a meth lab besides the law enforcement guys? All right, I'm going to give you an easy test, so if you ever see a meth lab, you'll know it. Okay, that's a yellow lab. Black lab. Chocolate lab. Meth lab. So, do I need to go over that again, or y'all think y'all got that? Basically, this is the way thif they're cooking now. If we get any labs, call it one pot. All they're using is a soda water bottle, 2 liter. They'll use the black stuff you see is lithium. What they'll do is get a lithium battery, get a pair of channel locks, strip it out, and it's a lithium strip in there. They use that. Then they'll have to have either ephedrine or pseudoephedrine. And then they use ammonia. Let me back up. When you buy meth on the street, traditionally it was in the powder form. What they would do, you usually put it in a spoon, melt it down, or they didn't like snort because it burned it or they'd eat it. And once we really got focused on that, the Mexican drug trafficking organization started making what's called methamphetamine ice. Okay? It's kind of made the same way that it's powdered, different, where it looks like broken pieces of glass or rock salt. Oops. all over the state. So what they'll do is get a piece of tin foil or some type of smoking device, put fire under it, and they start smoking and they inhale the dragon. They'll stay up for 2 or 3 days at a time, crash, and then start smoking again. So very highly addictive drug. Okay. What's really impressive about Arkansas, we're a small state, but we work as a team. You know, with DEA, I was in other states, and the feds and FBI and DEA would fight like dogs, or the state police and the FBI would fight. So, but here I can safely say, Arkansas and law enforcement works together. It's very important. This date and time, I think it's very important. You know, I'm not a big Facebook guy, never have been, but we want to get the message out that, of what the good things the Arkansas State Police does. And we formed a Facebook page, and I would, if you're into Facebook, I would encourage it, because we put on there road closures, different things. If we have problems, traffic accidents, you're able to know, and they'll give you possible another route. But things like we do news releases, updates on flooded roadways. We do why we wear the badge. Wednesday, we'll focus on a trooper, and he tells his story why he wears the badge. Anything we do good with the public, we put on here. It's like giving some teddy bears away. This is one of my favorites. This is in Hot Springs, our trooper, Kevin Steve. His mom posted this. He says, having to share this, my son had his 8th birthday party here in Hot Springs today, and it was a police officer themed party. My son insists he will be a cop one day, and last week, when walking to a restaurant, my son stopped 3 officers and told them he was going to be a cop when he grows up. The cops were so sweet, talked with him about it, and then my son told them that he was having a cop party and there would be donuts. That's not fair. So they should come. They asked what time, when, and where, and we left it at that. Then today at 2 p.m. when the party started, Officer Steed showed up to make my son's day. He did not do this for the recognition, but I think speaking out about this man was necessary. Thank you so much for making my son's day. This is the kind of stuff that the public needs to see what troopers are doing, and this kid will never forget that as long as he lives. We had another thing about a month ago, made national news. We had troopers down in the same troop area. Kid had a birthday party, invited all his classmates, and nobody came. So these troopers went out of their own pocket, bought him cake, bought him presents, went and had a party. It hit Facebook, it made USA Today. Then I started getting emails from all over the world, New Zealand, Australia. Somebody sent me a picture of the front page of an Italian newspaper, the largest Italian newspaper. It showed our trooper on this party for the kid. Just great stuff. The kid got so much now they actually had to get him a post office box because he's getting so many gifts coming in. But you know, it's truly an honor. You know, the state police does so much more, and for our law enforcement and first responders, you call us, the answer is always going to be yes. I've always been a big believer in team player. We're very fortunate with the state police. We have what's called the Arkansas State Police Foundation. Stan Witt, who's a former colonel, he is the executive director. So I'm going to let Stan kind of tell you about that. But they are instrumental now. We're trying to build a driving track, different things. But just want to tell you, and this foundation is based on people who are great community leaders and love law enforcement. And after Stan talks, I'll be glad to take a couple questions. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm going to be very brief because I know it's 1 o'clock now and y'all need to go. But, State Police does have a foundation. It was created in 2000, similar to what Arkansas Game and Fish Commission Foundation is. We support the Arkansas State Police financially in things that they're not able to do, either because they don't have the money budgeted or they're not able, through DFNA rules and regulations, to spend their appropriation for certain things. That's when we step up and help them. We've helped them build a training building down to the range. We provide money to each troop every year so they can have Christmas parties with their families. We send troopers out of state to other troopers' funerals when needed. Just any kind of assistance the state police needs, and the colonel asks for, we step up and try to help them do that. Like I said, our biggest project is the driving track we're trying to build out at Camp Robinson. We've got about 130 acres out there. That Dylan Berry worked with us on. The state police was leased. We started working on the skills pad yesterday. Should have it done in 2 or 3 weeks. But once we get this driving track completed, it's not going to be for the state police. It's going to be for every law enforcement agency in the state. They will have access to it and can utilize it. It'll be housed at Camp Robinson. That's our biggest project. The foundation is a 501c3 organization. Tax deductible donations. We have another program going right now we found that people want to try to help, foundation, state police through the foundation, but not everybody can give $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever. So we started a program called Friends of the Foundation, and that's where if you would like to donate a minimum of $100 to the foundation, I've got some brochures here I'm going to leave with you to pick up. With that donation, you will get a foundation decal put on your car showing you the